Welcome to the Talking Apron podcast, where we blend life, diabetes, a little bit of practical nutrition advice. I'm your host, Ann Bernardin, and this is the holiday season. The holiday season to be filled with gratitude and appreciation that we have this life to live. With the holidays upon us, naturally, it's time for family gatherings, laughter, and lots of food. But for us living with diabetes, it can also mean a little bit extra stress. But don't worry, this episode is all about navigating the holidays with the support of your family, keeping food simple, and staying prepared so you can enjoy the season without a sugar spike in sight, or maybe less sugar spikes. So go ahead and go grab your cuppa and we'll dive in. Now, when we talk about the holidays, we have a lot of memories associated with our traditions and what we do. And I want to talk about the obvious, the reason for the season. It's more than what goes on the table. It's more than the food. The holidays are about the people around us. Whether it's the family you call family from blood, or it's the family that supports you, maybe you're not related to. And it's about having a grateful heart for those people in our lives. And yes, there is so much food. Yes, we have to navigate the stress. But why I'm bringing all these tips and tricks to your attention is so that you have less stress and can enjoy this holiday season and holiday seasons to come, and have it be more about the people. So when you are in the company of those that you love, that those that support you, you spend your full attention on the present, on being present, and leaving the worry behind. And when we focus on the relationship and the experiences that the holidays provide, we can reduce stress, which then in fact helps us with our blood sugar control. So what can we do to appreciate the people in our lives during the holidays festivities? We can plan, we can communicate, we can share, and we can be real as we can be with what's going on in living our lives with diabetes. Let me explain. One of the first things I had to learn as a newly diagnosed type 1 diabetic is that I had to not go with the flow. Not go with the flow. How many times have you shown up to a festive family occasion where you would eat whatever was there on the table without a health worry? I had 50 plus years of never worrying. So many occasions that I didn't have to think about what I was eating. But now, when a diagnosis comes your way and food choices are important, you've got to share. You've got to open your mouth to your family on how they can help you. If they are hosting, be prepared. Ask what dishes they'll be providing, and bring a dish to share based on what you can eat. So this may seem simple enough, but for some people, speaking it out loud, the challenges that we have, and sharing with those close to us. We don't want to be a burden. We don't want to bring the attention to us. But at the same time, it's ever present with ourselves and with our family. So as I said, communication and questions are the keys to success during holiday festivities and family meals. Let your family know how they can support you. And if it isn't a family member that's hosting, ask what is being served. And be generous and kind. I'd love to bring a dish to share, no matter where you're going. Remember that managing diabetes doesn't mean missing out. It just means tweaking things a little bit, taking smaller portions, or bringing an alternate dish. And yes, there are people that don't understand this disease and what living with a disease called diabetes is all about. And they could possibly judge you and what you put on your plate. Oh yes, I remember occasion I was at a conference and this woman next to me said, "Should you be eating that, dear?" I just had to smile and keep the comments to myself because she didn't watch it when I didn't eat the roll and I didn't have a lot of potatoes, but I knew there was cheesecake coming. And I chose my carbs according to what I wanted to eat. I am making the choices. I am in control. You are in control of what goes into your body. And knowing that you are doing your best. Disregard anyone that's trying to food guilt you. And that is a thing. People that think they're being helpful. So you want to start with humor. You know what's scarier than fruitcake? It's trying to count the carbs in a holiday casserole. Now, at one point in my life, I went to a lot of Methodist church suppers. The casserole reigned. And when navigating any type of potluck dinner, you want to keep your plate full of the simple dishes. Keep the recipe ingredients limited. And be ready to make ingredients sparse. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean, if you can't figure out what is actually in that dish, take a very small spoonful to taste, but don't keep it as your main thing. I was helping with a church Thanksgiving dinner recently. I had to stay away from the corn pudding. Why? Because it had a lot of ingredients that I couldn't put a carb count to. You know, it had a package of cornbread mix, canned of creamed corn, regular corn, sour cream, some milk. Too many to count to figure out how much was in each. So I had a taste, and of course, yes, I liked it, but it was going to be too difficult to figure out how many carbs was I going to be having for that meal. I would much rather go to the mashed potatoes and have a little portion of mashed potatoes too, because I knew how many carbs were in a mashed potato. So just because I couldn't easily navigate how many carbs were in that serving, I just took a little bit. And holiday meals don't mean that we have to have complicated food and endless desserts. It doesn't. Here are some strategies and swaps that you can make. Now for appetizers, start off with the veggie trays, the nuts, cheese, or perhaps some shrimp. For the main course, you're going to stick with the basics. Lean proteins like turkey or ham. And then in the vegetables, have a small portion of those starchy vegetables like potatoes, sweet potatoes, corn, peas. and go with the non-starchy. You're going to be having Brussels sprouts or broccoli, green beans, asparagus. And yeah, okay, yes, have a little bit of that starchy like I mentioned, but give half your plate to those green vegetables or salad. And when we're talking about desserts, you want to bring your friendly dessert that helps you have good diabetes care. Like, for me, dark chocolate, strawberries, and nuts. You just pair them. Take a little bit of each, and you've had that satisfying finish to a meal. It's a perfect little taste for holiday festivity. Now remember, when you are going to those holiday meals and you are eating, you want to look at your plate. And half your plate, again, you want those green vegetables, those non-starchy vegetables. Then a quarter of the plate will be your protein. Now be cautious. If that protein has any type of sauce on it, you want to limit that. And then the other quarter will be the carbs or the starch. Now for me, I actually break that down and put that into an eighth, because we forget sometimes about bread and dessert. So I make my starch a quarter, and then that way I can either have a bread at the beginning or a little piece of pie at the end. So how do we go about the holiday season? Well, we have to prepare ahead of time. So with all these holiday parties, the kid events, shopping, cooking, these weeks can surprise us with things we didn't have coming our way. Last minute plans to unexpected treats. So being prepared can save the day and your blood sugar. So have a travel toolkit. What do I mean? This is a tip. You want to make sure you have your diabetes friendly essentials with you at all times. I'm talking your glucose meter, your test strips, if you carry insulin, if you have your infusion sets, but you also want to have your snacks with nuts or protein, water, wherever you go this holiday season. Because if you walk into a situation where there isn't really a lot of foods that you can eat, you want to make sure that you don't go into that occasion hungry. So bring a little bit of something you can nibble on, and then you can fill in the rest. Always be prepared. And if you're attending a gathering, like I said earlier, bring a dish that you know you can eat without worry. And if you don't know what to bring, any host would always love a dish of deviled eggs. It's an easy one, and it will fill you with that good protein to keep your blood sugar levels in check. Now, I said bringing some nuts. Well, I always have nuts in the car, or a cheese string, or a couple chunks of cheddar cheese. And that you can take out of the fridge on your way out the door. You can even if you know that this is going to be an occasion that's just nibbling and you're not sure what there's going to be, have a little something before you leave. So this holiday season, remember, lean on your family and communicate your needs. Simplify your food choices. Stick to what you know. Prepare for the unexpected with your diabetes-friendly toolkit, and shift your focus to making memories instead of just meals. Holidays are about celebrating life and love. With a little preparation and a lot of support, you can enjoy the season fully while keeping your health on track. After all, the best gift you can give yourself and your family is your well-being. Now, if you're having a hard time navigating the sweets and the carbs, I have this quick guide. It's called Doctor's Orders: Why Sweets why lowering your sugar isn't just about sweets. You can find it in the link to the bio, or the link to this podcast, or the link to the description of the YouTube video. Download that. It's my free gift to you. So thanks for tuning in to the Talking Apron. If you enjoyed today's episode, please share it with a friend, follow, and we'll catch you the next time. Bye for now.